11:1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's faith. My name is Michael Lovejoy, your host and moderator, and you never would guess who we have here in the Love Zone once again. We have the great doctor from Richmond, California, the doc by the rock, the fantastic Dr. Kerry Moses, who's going to be filling us in on his practice here in the Suisun City area in Northern California, and also is going to give us some insight into the diabetic explosion in the Black community. So, stay smooth, stay cool, stay where you are. Later. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Love Zone. This is your host, Michael Lovejoy. It's been a minute since I've put anything live on the net, and here we are. You never would guess who we have here with us tonight in the Love Zone. We have the one, the only, the great, the mighty, Dr. Kerry Moses of Richmond, California. How you doing, Doc?
Well, Mike, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. A little apprehensive, but I'm doing all right.
What are you apprehensive about, Doc?
Well, whenever you're faced in front of a lot of people, it can always be kind of discerning.
Why do you say that?
Just in general. But I'm ready for you.
Are you ready for me?
I'm ready for you.
Oh, well, let's get down to the brass tacks then. Well, first of all, Doc, I want you to tell our audience about your, number one, your background, your education, and your training so that people can know what your qualifications are.
Well, I go back a long ways. My qualifications basically is based upon how the body works. Back in 1976, I was exposed to being a non-meat eater, and from that point on, I progressed and slowly became a vegetarian, and that led me into the field that I am in now. So,
what did meat have to do with you going into the medical field, sir?
Well, meat, once I found out, it was very toxic. The way they raised the animals was very, the animals was placed in pens where they weren't able to move. They was given hormones, and the animals was kept in very unsanitary conditions. And after I visited a couple of farms and I saw this in live, I knew at that point I didn't want to consume no more meat. And then I started on my journey, one day at a time.
So you're saying that, you know, the slaughter process here in America is something that turned you against the consumption of meat products. Am I correct?
Well, it wasn't just so much as the slaughter process, because I never did see that firsthand. What I saw firsthand was how the animals lived and how they were kept. That is what I saw and what they were fed. And from that point on, I knew that I didn't want to consume any more meat.
Well, did you consult Oprah Winfrey before you had this
Oprah Winfrey
interview?
wasn't nowhere around at that time. What started me was a man that just recently passed away, and his name was Dick Gregory. Now, Dick Gregory had came to the Bay Area on many occasions, and I got the opportunity to see him several times. And he lost a tremendous amount of weight by fasting and living a different type of lifestyle, living in accordance with nature. So therefore, that's how I wanted to progress. I wanted to be able to live with nature and not fight against it, as most of us do. We are a reactionary type society. So therefore, I went on to develop and became a vegetarian and read and learned. Then I got the opportunity to pursue a certain career. But I couldn't because I had a back injury. I had developed a back injury lifting my mother up who had multiple sclerosis, and she could not walk. So then I moved forward and I had this back injury. And over time, I decided to try chiropractic. Oh
What,
my gosh.
what school did you go to, sir?
I went to a school called Life West. It was in Hayward. I checked out several different schools. One was Life East in Georgia. There was a school down in LA I checked out, but the one, Life West, was the school I settled on. And so with that, I went to school, went to an accelerated learning school because I hadn't been in school in over 10 years. I took some accelerated classes, calculus, chemistry, biochem, and so forth, and these classes was extremely hard. And then I went on to start chiropractic college, and I finished in 3.5 years, 4-year school, finished in 3.5 years, so I worked my butt off. And while I was there, right after that, I got my bachelor's degree, had my chiropractic degree, started practice in 2001.
So you've been in business now for 16 years.
16 years.
16 years. Now, what other certifications that you've achieved along the way, along with your chiropractic practice, to make you more appealing so that people might want to come and seek your services?
I'm so glad you asked that. One of the things that I'm very proud of is that I'm also what's called a QME, Qualified Medical Evaluator. That's licensed by the state to evaluate basically workers' comp and personal injury type cases, and that allows me to give a verifiable proof that what I'm saying is based upon fact. I'm also an industrial medical evaluator, IME. Also what's called a, let me see, that, oh gosh, I don't know all, I can't think of all my certifications, but I have several more, which makes me a little bit more appealing and makes me more adjunct to the different issues that people may be having. Because as we are living our lives, we are faced with many different type of challenges, and oftentimes these challenges are not addressed properly, so you have to be able to look at them in a way that people may be able to see that, hey, maybe you can help me. Maybe what you're doing can help. And that's where I want to be at. I want to be able to look at you in many different ways and say, this could possibly be your condition. This could be your diagnosis. I can look at your fingernails and say, you may be suffering from high blood pressure, and I don't need to take your high blood pressure. I don't need to take your pressure to find that out.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that you're the Imhotep of holistic and wellness and Cairo and all that stuff mixed in there together.
Well,
we can call you Imhotep. Am I correct?
Well, I like to be called more of a wellness doctor. I'm definitely getting more. I've branched much further than just chiropractic. Chiropractic is the basis because you got to have a healthy spine. Whatever you do, you have to have a healthy spine. Anything that goes on in your body, your spine has to be healthy. That was the first thing that was formed when you were a child, embryo, was your spine, your brain and your spine. So therefore, you got to have good nerve conduction.
Now that we've established that you have let us know what inspired you, what continues to motivate you, and that you're an established practitioner now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Do you mind?
To the nitty-gritty.
Thank you, sir. Diabetes. Since the early 90s, we've seen an explosion of diabetic cases and an explosion in diabetic diagnoses, particularly in black people.
Yes.
This program is dedicated to getting information out to other black people so that we can find remedies and find ways of solving some of the medical issues, because we're now in the Love Zone with an eye on medicine. And you are the man today to help us to get there, Dr. Moses. Can you give us a short synopsis on the diabetic explosion in the black community?
Well, when you look at diabetes, you have to look at different facets of diabetes. They categorize it as type 1, type 2, and type 3 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes probably comprise about 5% of the population. Type 2 about 90-95%. And then there's a type 3 that is growing that very few people are even aware of. And they haven't totally characterized that as a disorder as of yet. But some doctors are saying type 3 diabetes is very prevalent. Okay, but most of the people that are walking are type 2 diabetics.
Can you tell us, Dr. Moses, how can we prevent the occurrence or acquiring diabetes 1, 2, or 3?
Well, type 1 diabetes is very different. Type 2 diabetes is something is close to being more of a lifestyle. Okay, when you are consuming a lot of processed foods, a lot of white sugar products, white flour products, you're definitely setting yourself up for a possible problem in the future. Now, there's many different things that that can be contributed to diabetes, especially type 2. One of those, which I'm very been doing a lot of research into and reading, is that type 2 diabetes is closely related to immunizations and immunization shots. So this correlation has been known and seen that people who consume certain immunizations, they tend to be much more prone to get diabetes.
Hold on, Doc. Hold on. Are you asserting that the pharmaceuticals are responsible for part of the explosion of the diabetic condition in the black community?
No, I would never say that, because again, part of it is due to how we live our lifestyle. Lifestyle, you have to look at that. You know, if you go back 100 years, 150 years, if you go back to the time when black people, when we were slaves, which it wasn't that far, 200 years ago, 150 years ago, you know, you go back to those times, did we have diabetes? Why is diabetes so prevalent now? One of the reasons is because, again, processed sugar. You know, we consume over 100 pounds of sugar a year. Every human being on the planet, not a human being, but every American consumes way over 100 pounds of sugar a year. Whereas 150 years ago, they only consumed perhaps 5 pounds of sugar a year. Huge difference. So your body's got to process that sugar, and insulin carries that glucose, which is sugar, into the cell. It is the carrier. It is the 18-wheeler that carries it right in. Okay? What happens is that a lot of times that 18-wheeler gets broken down. It gets broken down. And when that happens, that insulin can't get into the cell, and it's just sitting there. It's sitting in the bloodstream. You take your sugar, it's super high, boom. First thing they want to do, put you on some metformin. Well, all you have to do is just fix the carrier. Fix the carrier so that it can get into the cell, process into the cell, and then boom, bam, the insulin goes into the cell, processes, and you're a happy camper. Your body loves glucose. It needs glucose. Your brain consumes 50, 60, 70% of all the glucose you have. So your brain needs it.
So if we contract it after all that is said and done, what's the best methodology of maintaining your health and a healthy balance and a healthy figure, so to say, you know, with your health suffering from diabetes?
Well, again, you have to look at where your body is at this point. If you're obese, of course, you got to get to a point to where you need to say, hey, I need to lose weight. Okay? If you're consuming a lot of sugary products, you need to look at your diet and say, hey, I need to cut back on this.
Does alcohol play a part in that?
Absolutely. Alcohol is very, very sweet, and it just goes straight into the blood. It crosses the blood-brain barrier without no problem at all. Boom. So it goes straight to the brain, and it goes straight to the pancreas, and the liver, it just has a triple domino effect upon the wrecking havoc in the body.
Now, you said that our lifestyle. Are you an advocate of eating the 15, 20 times a day that some of the the medical people are saying you constantly eat all day long to maintain your level of sugar in your blood and healthy levels and all that kind of thing. Are you an advocate of that, sir?
Well, I like to look at it like this. One of the things that you want to do is listen to your body. Let your body talk to you. Your body will tell you when you need to eat, when you need to drink, when you need to use the bathroom. You don't have to tell it. It will tell you what it needs. We just have to be in tune to be able to listen to what the body is saying. Most of us are not. We've gotten out of tune. We've gotten away from the natural being of our body. We were raised in a medicine cabinet, and therefore we expect the medicine cabinet to make us healthy. It will never happen. The medicine cabinet is not going to make us happy. It's not going to make us healthy. It will continue to bring us down and drag our health into the ground. That's what it's meant to do. The medical profession, big pharma, is not geared towards trying to make you well. They're geared towards maintenance, keeping you sick at the same level for 20, 30, 40, 50 years so that they can bleed you dry from whatever monies that you may have. Most people don't know one of the biggest causes of bankruptcy is medical bills. Medical bills. It's the third leading cause of bankruptcy, is trying to pay those medical bills off.
So, doctor, you're saying that because they have a pill-pushing culture in general medicine and science, that they're not really interested in getting you healthy because it affects their bottom line. Is that what you're saying?
It affects their bottom line. They don't have to make you healthy. If there is a cure for anything, they don't have to give it to you. They don't have to give it to you. If there's a cure.
Well, tell me this now. Are you an advocate of the hypocritical?
Absolutely.
Do you believe in that, sir?
Absolutely.
Do you believe in doing no harm?
Doing no harm.
And in your practice, what is the portion of that oath that you take 100% to make sure that your patients get back to health and strength?
Well, I try not to, as a state, I try not to do no harm. But I also realize that sometimes we have to make some changes to them, with them, that may appear to be harmful to them. But in the long haul, the benefits far outweigh the small downfall that they may experience.
Now, you're an advocate person. I mean, a supplement man, aren't you?
Well, I do believe in supplements, yes.
Yes, you do. And you are one who makes supplements for people's consumption and, to help them keep them healthy, wealthy, and wise, correct?
I do put together some formulas.
Now, I like to know, sir, what's the difference between you and Safeway's supplements or CVS's supplements or Rite Aid supplements? What's the difference between you and them?
Well, for one thing, my supplements, I use all organic ingredients, and since I put them together myself, I know what's in them. There's no fillers that's in them. There's no magnesium stearate in them. There's no, powdered newspaper that's in them. That's in a lot of fillers. There's no
sawdust.
Powder.
I read they had sawdust.
Or sawdust that's
yes.
in them. There's none of that. There's no pills. These are capsules. These are veggie caps. I measure each capsule out. I spend the time that does it. Of course, it costs a little bit more, but you're getting what you're paying for. You're getting what you're paying for, and you're going to get something that's bioavailable to the body that can help heal the body based upon what your needs are.
Now, I see here on the table here, Dr. Moses, that you have some supplements that you have been dispensing to some of your patients and to the public at large. Am I correct?
Well, I don't dispense them. I'm not a pharmacist or a health food store or anything like that. My client says, Doc, do you have something that you can help me with? And I said, well, hey, maybe I could put something together for you. Okay? And that's what I do. I try to put something together for them that's based upon their needs and only their needs. Now, someone else, I would base it upon their needs. So it changes from individual to individual. So no, I don't particularly, I'm not in the supplement selling business. But I do provide certain things to certain clients.
Okay, now let me ask you this now. The supplements that you do provide, let's say one of the ones you have here on the table. Can you give us an explanation as to what the particular supplement does and what kind of assistance it provides?
Okay, let's look at. All right, let's look at.
LED.
All right. Oh, I should have had my glasses.
Okay, just pick up one. You want my glasses? Do you have glasses?
I do, but
Oh, well, just go and get your glasses. We'll cut that out. Don't worry about it. We'll cut it out. Go on.
But these are
Go get your glasses, Doc.
okay. You gonna cut that out?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna leave it in there. You know, Dr. Moses, can you explain to us what one of those particular supplements do to help a patient?
Oh,
of
absolutely,
yours?
absolutely. Now, this is one of my own creations. I had a client call me to where she says, Dr. Moses, do you have anything that can help lose weight as a liquid? So this is one product that I had put together was, I call it Dr. Moses Miraculous Weight Loss Drops. It has over 24 natural ingredients all put together that are proven to help you lose weight, okay? I sell 2 ounces for $65, 4 ounces for $120. And it will cut your appetite, plus it will attack belly fat. It's just an amazing, amazing product. I love it dearly, okay? My vitamin C is full spectrum vitamin C. It's 1,000 milligram capsules. It's full spectrum. It's got the bioflavonoids in it. Again, veggie cap. I put it together. I weigh it. They're usually 1,000 milligrams, but normally they're right around about 1,200 milligrams.
Now, what is vitamin C, sir?
Well, vitamin C is a vitamin that your body needs every day. You can't. You have to replace vitamin C. Okay, it's not something that your body holds on to. You have to be able to consume it every day. And if you don't get adequate amounts of vitamin C, or if you don't get adequate amounts of your nutrients that you need, the 90 nutrients that you need, then your body's going to be running in a deficit.
Can you give us an example of your body running in a deficit when it needs a particular nutrient or particular vitamins?
Well, let's look at something that's very close and dear to me that happened to myself, and I'm sure it happened to many men. Most men in their 40s, 50s, and so forth, they tend to suffer from prostate issues. Well, prostate issues is what I found out is a deficit of certain nutrients. Now, at that point, at some point I tried to take a lot of nutrients, but it was the wrong nutrients, and I didn't take enough of them. So your body needs certain nutrients to be able to survive, because what happens, your body's always in a state of building up, tearing down, building up, tearing down, homeostasis. But what happens is that when you don't give the body the raw ingredients that it needs, then your body will tend to continue to break down more than it builds up. And over time, you get these issues. You get all the issues that are affecting us today, especially in the black community.
Well, let me ask you this, Doc. There's been a tremendous focus on super foods and super vegetables and things like that, to help you, like kale and other vegetables like this. Now, does this go a long way with helping the ED problem in the black community?
Well,
you do know there's an ED problem in the black community.
Yeah. Well,
do you want to address that, Doc?
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. The problem.
Go on, Doc.
Yeah, the problem with is that we're not getting enough nutrients. Again, we're not getting enough nutrients. We're not getting enough nutrients. If your body does not get those 90 nutrients daily, you're going to have problems.
Are you saying that ED is caused from a lack of 90 vitamins?
It could very well be.
No. What I need from you, Doc.
No, wait a minute.
I need a certainty.
No, there's no certainty, because there's certain. ED could be caused by pharmaceutical meds. It could be caused by stress. It could be caused by being overworked, not getting enough sleep. There's a lot of different factors that may be causing ED. A lot of different factors. So when that happens, you have to be able to look at the entire picture. The entire picture. So once you look at the entire picture, then you can address it.
Do you have any supplements for ED, sir?
I do. I have something. Do have some raw ingredients that I'm putting together for a couple of clients, and I think it's going to do them quite well.
And what does that product cost? Because I might need a bag. Not a capsule. I need a bag. How about that?
Well, let me just say one of those products that one of the ingredients is going to be honey goat weed.
Honey goat weed. All right. That's a good friend of mine. Honey goat weed.
So that's going to be one of the ingredients in it, and it has, and the way that it's going to carry. I got a perfect carrier, because one of the problems is you have to have something that's the cell's going to be able to recognize, so it'll go right into the cell. One of the biggest problems about most supplements that people buy on the market today is that all you're doing, you're paying a lot of money for these supplements, and all you're doing is having expensive urine and expensive toilet bathroom duties, because they're just going right through your body. So my supplements, your body, they will make they're very readily bioavailable, because I have liquids and I have capsules. So they're very bioavailable to the body, which means that, hey, your body will utilize it, it can access it, and thereby you can get the benefit of those supplements.
Very well, Dr. Moses. Well, this concludes the first portion of our show here in the Love Zone. We want to thank you, Dr. Moses, for being so passionate and so straightforward with the subject matter. On our return, we're going to deal with the chiro aspect of your practice.
Well, I appreciate that. I just enjoy talking about this, because we need to know about it, because we've been fed so much misinformation that a lot of us are taking the first thing that someone else says, such as our medical provider, and therefore we are falling victim to those people, okay? And somebody needs to go to jail. Someone needs to go to jail for all the lies and the misinformation that is given to us.
Well, thank you, Dr. Moses. We're going to be back here in the Love Zone in 2 and 2. See you.
We look at it a little bit differently. We look at the body as a whole, and we say, if your body's curving this way, well, let's bring it back the other way so it can match up, okay? So we traction you the opposite. So we call this mirror imaging. So we do a mirror imaging of your curve, and therefore we put you in traction using pulleys and weights and so forth. This allows your body to adapt to the curvature, the new curve, slowly over time. Now, I've had phenomenal success with this in using this technique, because we're using weights and stuff. The only problem of it is that it's slow. It's a slow process.
So you have to have patience in this
You've got to have patience.
Process.
You've got to have patience. Now, one particular story I must tell you about very quickly is that one young lady, she had a 36-degree curve in her spine, and she wanted to get pregnant. And she could not get pregnant primarily because of her curvature. Her pelvis was tilted and everything else. Well, once we started readjusting her and realigning her, over a period of time, we were able to change her spinal curvature, and that allowed her uterus to set properly in its proper positioning and allowed her to be able to conceive, and she was able to have a child. So that's one of my success stories. But now it took us close to 2 years to make that happen. 2 years to make that happen.
Well, can I ask you a business question?
Sure.
Did she have a copay every time she had to come?
Well, she decided to pay. She did have a copay, but her insurance ran out over a period of time. Then she just paid. She saw the benefits of it, and she didn't want to go the surgical route, and then she just paid out of pocket.
Okay.
I gave her a great deal.
All right. Do you do pro bono work, sir?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
You believe in that axiom of giving and you shall receive?
Well, I just do the work. You know, whatever God sends my way, He sends my way. I just don't mind. I don't mind doing pro bono if it needs it, if it calls for it.
Now, I want to ask you in reference about your being a black practitioner. Do you suffer from the black doctor syndrome? Meaning that people won't come to seek your services because you're African American, you're black. Do you suffer from that, sir? Do you see that?
I have seen that. I've had one lady, not that earlier this year, in fact. She was really interested in my weight loss program because she had heard about it and she was excited about it. She had called me several times thinking that, hey, she's coming on down, coming on down. She's going to be here in 1 hour. She's going to be here in 30 minutes. Hey, doc, I'm on my way. I'm around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And finally, she gets here. She sees who I am. She sees what I'm doing. And she immediately says, oh, this is not the place for me. And she walks out and leaves. I was quite flabbergasted because I had spoken to this lady several times over the telephone, and because, you know, she was so interested, she was so wanting to the services that where when she came in and saw who I was, saw what I was doing, and seeing the benefit because I had several people on exercise equipment, and they were working out, they were sweating, they were doing all the things that they needed to do. She said this is not the place for her.
Now, is there anything that you can do or the community of practitioners such as yourself, men of African Americans or men of color, can do to more or less dissuade that kind of perception that a black doctor can't do for them what a white doctor or a Korean doctor or an Indian doctor can do for them? Is there anything that you can do to dissuade that kind of perception?
Well, what I do is just try to make myself available. What they do, what they need to be able to do is to believe that they can get good care, good treatment, honest treatment, someone who's going to tell them the truth and not just tell them a bunch of things that they may want to hear. And so that's where I'm coming from. Tell them the truth, let the chips fall where they may. But I want to give good advice and good truth and to our people because we've been misled, hoodwinked so much. It's just crazy. So we've got to be able to circulate our monies within the black community. We've got to circulate our monies 5, 10, 12 times as other races do before it leaves our community. They pay me, I buy from another black, they buy from another black, they buy from another person of color. Therefore, that money stays within our community, and we all benefit from that.
Well, Dr. Moses, I want to thank you so much for being in the Love Zone with us this evening. And it's been a long time coming. I want to thank you for taking out of your busy, busy schedule. I know you're the superstar doctor to the superstars. And we want to put you on blast to the world, to let the world know that the great Doc by the Rock is right here in California. And your office is where, sir?
Actually, I have 2 offices, one in Richmond and one in the city of Sassoon. But my offices can be worldwide as long as the net is available. I do have some stuff that I like to tell people about. I have an energy booster that is amazing, okay? I have a liquid vitamin B complex that is awesome. All your Bs with extra B12. You want to increase your metabolism? Extra Bs goes right into the system. I also have a good line of vitamin C. Sleep formula. Amazingly, non-habit forming will knock you out. Knock you out. Non-habit forming. Also, we have a pain and joint formula. If you're experiencing pain in the joints, this will not only help decrease the pain, but it will help rebuild the joint. Unlike what other people or the medical profession or pharmaceutical companies tell you, is that you cannot rebuild cartilage. That is a lie. Your body is capable of rebuilding anything that it has made. Anything. The formula right here. Also, we have a mineral complex formula that has over 50 minerals in it. This is the basis of all the products that we do. You've got to have the minerals for your metabolism. Every bio function in your body needs minerals to function, to process. Got to have it.
Now, can you give the phone number if you have a website and the address of your offices, sir?
Absolutely. The phone number you can always reach me is at 707-399-8900. Again, 707-399-8900. And or my phone, my web address, I have to look at it because I tend to forget. Moses Chiropractic Wellness Center. Moses, M-O-S-E-S, Chiropractic Wellness Center.com. Moses Chiropractic Wellness Center.com.
Well, Doctor, I want to thank you, and I want to give you 1 minute to give the LoveZone audience some advice on how to maintain it, how to keep it, and how to pursue total health.
Well, you have to look, when you're looking at health, listen to what your body is telling you. Now, that your doctor that you go to, I would never tell you not to go to see your medical doctor, your primary care physician, whatever. He's great at what he does. He's good at what he does. But how much nutritional education did he take? How much physiological education did he take? You have to look at the body and how it is moving in our world, and how Big Pharma is making millions of dollars off of the medicines and so forth. You've got to be able to work in a realm of health. Okay? Listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs. If it needs sleep, go to sleep. Don't use no drugs, just go to sleep. Take a nap during the daytime if you need to. Exercise, rest, enjoyable work, sex. It's all good. Okay? You've got to listen to your body. You got to hear it. You got to hear it. I tell you, it makes a big difference. Plus, we've got to understand that our bodies are meant to live to be 120 plus years, and black people are dying. The average age of a black female is 76 to 78 years. A male between 72 to 74 years. Okay, we've got to increase that lifespan. We've got to increase that. Medical doctor's lifespan is between 70 to 74 years old. If you're a couch potato, a lot of times you can outlive your medical doctor. What does that tell you? So, there you have it.
Dr. Moses, I want to thank you for coming by the LoveZone and sharing your expertise with us. And as I always say to the LoveZone audience, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't drink, because the life you save may be your own. And stay cool, stay smooth, stay where you are. Later.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, against the white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters,